Hello everyone, my name is Brad Goodnight, and today I will be presenting research on enhancing cybersecurity situation awareness through visualization. This study that I've titled right here on the title slide with the authors below and the publication information, it is from 2023 and it explores how visualization can help detect USB data exfiltration, a major insider threat. The research focuses on the use of interactive dashboards to assist cybersecurity analysts in monitoring and preventing unauthorized USB file transfers. As we go through the findings, I'll discuss real-world applications, strengths, and limitations of this approach. Total disclosure, I was not aware that people were still using USB transfers as frequently as this article suggests. So there was a lot to this that I just wasn't aware of. Let's get into it. USB devices are widely used for file transfers, but they pose significant cybersecurity risks, particularly in insider threat situations. Traditional methods for detecting data exfiltration struggle with false positives, which makes it difficult for security teams to identify those real threats. An example of this that I can use from the real world would be, oddly enough, FOIA requests. FOIA requests, when I say that, I'm referring to Freedom of Information Act requests. And this is when anybody can go to a police station or really any type of government agency, including a school or university or anything like that. And they can request a lot of information, videos, pictures, documents, emails, really anything that they want to, because these are all assets of the government. And so basically, if you were to have some type of situation, I'll get really personal. I have actually a personal situation that I've had to request enormous amounts of FOIA searchable data. And when it's provided to me, oddly enough, it's provided on a USB drive. And you guys, I'm sure, would be just as horrified as I was when they asked for the USB drive back after I was done using it, implying that they're reusing the same USB drives to save on costs. While this is convenient, the practice could unintentionally expose sensitive data if the USB is lost, tampered with, or contains hidden malware. This research examines how visualization dashboards can improve cybersecurity awareness and help security teams detect USB data exfiltration more effectively. The main research question here is, how can visualization dashboards help detect USB data exfiltration? The study helps to develop user-friendly dashboards that provide real-time insights into USB file transfers. The goal is to create a tool that allows analysts to quickly and accurately detect potential insider threats. By improving situation awareness, these dashboards can help organizations reduce false positives and make better security decisions. This research follows a user-centered design approach. This means that the cybersecurity analysts, managers, and stakeholders were involved throughout the development process. So there were really three key steps in the study. Data collection would be the first step, where the researchers conducted interviews and focus groups to identify security concerns and useful detection features. Step two was the dashboard development. They created 3 interactive visualization dashboards to monitor and analyze USB data transfers. And then, of course, the last step would be the evaluation step, which is the effectiveness of the dashboards and how it was assessed using the technology acceptance model. These steps ensured that the system was designed to be practical, effective, and easy to use. The study also introduced 3 key dashboards, each addressing different aspects of USB-based data exfiltration. One was high-level overview dashboard, which is providing the broad view of the USB file transfers across the organization. Another was file volume and type comparison dashboard. And this one helps identify the anomalies by comparing normal versus unusual USB activity. And number three, the third and final, was individual activity dashboard. And on this one, it was really more allowing for the in-depth investigation for specific users and helping to pinpoint those suspicious behaviors. These dashboards are interactive, and they allow security teams to filter data, zoom into specific events, and identify risks faster. The researchers used the technology acceptance method to measure how effective and user-friendly the dashboards were. Remote testing was conducted with security analysts and managers who provided feedback on usability. One key limitation of the study was small sample size. Only 6 participants, which limits how generalizable the results are. Despite the limitation, though, the feedback was largely positive, with analysts reporting that the dashboards made it easier to detect real threats while reducing false alarms. The study makes an important contribution to cybersecurity visualization by integrating interactive dashboards for USB threat detection. Here are some of the key research of this, key strengths of this research. They reduced the false positives by providing contextual insights into suspicious USB activity. They designed both technical and non-technical. It was designed for both technical and non-technical users. So the technical being those security analysts, and the non-technical being just basic people that happen to be in administration roles. And there was also a real-world impact, an actionable impact. And it was, that some companies at the end of it, they were the participants, but at the end of it, after learning the findings, they changed their USB policies, either restricting or banning its use, the use of USBs in that company. So yeah, these findings did highlight the practicality and usability of visualization and improving cybersecurity awareness. But there were shortcomings. So despite its strengths, the study did have a few limitations. There was a limited scope, which we talked about a bit before, but there was only really a focus on USB exfiltration. It doesn't really address other data leakage methods like email, cloud storage, those types of things. There was, again, a small sample size, only 6 participants involved, and so that causes just kind of a limited ability to generalize. And then there were some implementation challenges that you can really anticipate, like, organizations, the bigger they get, and really even some small ones, but specifically big ones, small changes can take a long time and have high levels of resistance just on an organizational level. Things like privacy costs, disruption, those are really important factors when considering things like tax dollars or profits. In either case, these are major concerns. And it still requires manual labeling of the anomalies, which is time consuming, the system I'm referring to. And then the public sector gap, in addition to all this, is really kind of focused on companies, for-profit companies. And, a really important place that is not thought about in the study is the public sector, government agencies, police agencies, places that people are not necessarily required to have an in-depth knowledge of cybersecurity awareness, and they handle very sensitive information on a regular basis. So if we were to talk about some potential solutions, we could expand the study with more industries, automating those anomaly detections, and talking about maybe some of those cloud and email threats that could be monitored. Beyond corporate security, USB-based exfiltration threats also exist in government, law enforcement, and legal settings. So going back to those FOIA requests, those USBs that they provide include very sensitive data, sometimes very embarrassing data in my case that I was mentioning earlier. And if those USBs are lost, tampered with, or used in an unauthorized way, the consequences could be severe, not just for the people who use it, but also for the people who provide it. By implementing visualization dashboards, both private companies and government agencies could improve their ability to detect and prevent insider threats. So the visualization dashboards, they significantly enhance cybersecurity awareness by making USB activity more transparent. And just for the record, a lot of places don't necessarily even monitor this type of thing. That was somewhat discussed in the article. And we can also help reduce false positives, making security teams a bit more efficient. And the future work that we could look at here is to expand those dashboards to include those other exfiltration methods that I mentioned. Like I said, I don't know a lot of places still using USB options, but it's clear that that is definitely the case. And I personally know of, a very important sector being, law enforcement that uses USB quite often rather than cloud storage, email, and network transfers. But those areas still have to be addressed. Automating that anomaly detection using some type of machine learning or artificial intelligence would really reduce the need for that manual labeling. Obviously, there would have to be a quality control method there, but we also can increase the sample size probably pretty easily and see just how vast these results could become. But I really want to go into some of these final thoughts. So, the thing I'm thinking about for my case specifically, because it's a bit close to home, is how can those visualization tools be adapted to protect government data from USB-based exfiltration risks? I've talked about some of my personal concerns with some of this research in real world cybersecurity settings, but I wonder if you possibly in the company you work for, maybe you also have or the companies that you work with or alongside or know of, or maybe, even your child's school. Is this something that that might apply to them? Are the USB options still in use? Personally, as an educator, I see teachers still using USB drives on a daily basis. And then, do you have any improvements to the methodology? I know not all of us intend to move into industry or academia, but maybe in the research part of things. For me, I've highlighted some of those concerns in the methodology of the study, but I guarantee that a room as educated as you guys, I'm sure you probably have other thoughts in addition. So I don't know. What are your thoughts? Take a look at the article. Feel free to let me know what you think. I'd love to hear your questions. Please give me some time to answer them. I would love to dig further into the study, and thank you so much for your time.
Well, thank you. The thing that I have is, I wonder if did they have any visualization, because they said awareness through visualization. What did they use? I've been curious to see what was in the paper. Yes, I mean, somebody in the audience said you're talking about using dashboards, but I wanted to kind of see. I think for this class, it would have been interesting to see what they were using to kind of put it in the context of how does it fit, with the rest of things that we've seen, we will see this semester. So, but that's just me. So, and then thank you for the presentation.